Hey everybody, I'm Joanne with Quiet Waters Farm and Craft. So I figured I would take a few minutes out of my day. I've got some stuff cooking in the oven and I'm getting ready to go outside and plant some garlic so that way it can uh, get ready for spring. Anywho, so a few ways that I figured I would share how we save money. Um, when we lived in town, we had the convenience of living in town to where we didn't have such of a big yard. Our house wasn't as big, and everything, well, the stores were a little bit closer. I mean, not that much closer, but just a little bit closer. And so I started jotting down a few things that I could share with you. Plus, I'd done a lot of research because it benefits me if I can do more research because it might be something that I didn't think about to do that I could learn to save money. So I found about 60 things with some of the things that I do, plus things that I have researched that I figured I would just share with you. I'm very sorry for my mess over here. I recently moved my office in my dining room because it's very large, and we're storing some stuff in my office because I have a door to the outside in my office. So now everything's getting moved in here. So, hey me. Anyways, let's see here. So, a few things that you can do to benefit your home is how many of you have houseplants? If you don't have any houseplants, then get a humidifier. But humidifier takes time, it takes money, which, plants do take time, but they don't take a lot of money. I mean, once you buy them, you just put some water in them and that's it. If you get a houseplant for every single room, that is providing oxygen in that room. And it creates moisture. Now, if your house is really dry, you have staticky, like your blankets are staticky, your hair's all flying out everywhere. Mind you, I just took my hat off, so very sorry for the way my hair looks. But if everything is so staticky and just very, very dry, just like your face, if your face is dry, your lips are dry, maybe you work at home and you just notice that you're just because there's not oxygen in your house, there's not enough. So during the winter time, your windows aren't open, they're closed. Out here on the farm, during the summer, so I don't have to run the air conditioner so much on cold days, I open up every single window in the house because I would rather have free air coming in my house than having to pay for an air conditioner bill. So, that's one way for me to cut down a cost in the summer. But in the wintertime, you know, all I can do is open up my blinds so I have sunshine, just like what I have right now. I love this because my desk is sitting right here next to the window by our dining room. If anybody comes to our house, I can see them pull in the driveway. It's great. But also opening up those blinds, opening up those curtains that lets the sun in, and that warms up your house. So take advantage of that. And plus, you don't have to use so much electricity. That's a great tool to have. Sun is great. Um, Another thing is checking your furnace filters every 30 to 60 days. Depending on when you first start that up, because you're not going to run your furnace in the summer, not really in the spring and not really in the fall. Only certain parts of those two seasons would you be running that if your house is cold. But the first month, you want to run it 30 days and you want to go ahead and change that air filter out. It might cost you a few more dollars, but when your furnace is sitting there for a season, 2 seasons without even running, all that dust is going to collect in there. So, change it out before you start it up and then change it out 30 days later. And then you wouldn't have to do it more than every 60 days, something like that. So that's another way because all that dust is going to come in your house. So it's going to take more of the moisture out, number one. Number two, it can make you sick. It could give you allergies, especially if you have newborns or toddlers. That is one of the reasons why toddlers get allergies or when they get older, because it's not saying that you are a dirty person, but because all that stuff comes in and it goes into their, freshly new made lungs. And so to protect them, you want to do that. They also have those air purifiers to also help with dust. With us living out here on the farm, we have tractors constantly coming down our road, and they just did all the corn, and then over here's the beans, so we have all that dust coming in. So making sure that you are at least cleaning your house once a week is great benefits to help keep you healthy. We recently purchased this Dr. Bronner's. This cost me like 16 bucks. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculously expensive, but I can use this for everything in my home. I can use it on, you can use it on babies. I don't have any babies anymore. But this one right here, it is the kind that is unscented for babies. And if you have animals like your dogs that you have to bathe, you want to get the unscented. Now they make like a lavender kind, an almond, a tea tree, peppermint, make all different kinds of this. But you can use this in your home to clean it. You can use it for, Windex. It replaces Windex. I shouldn't say it's Windex. You can replace it with your all-purpose cleaners, with your if you guys have those little Swiffer things, you can replace it with this, your dish soap, your dishwasher, your laundry soap, this right here. So would you rather have one of these sitting in your cabinet than 10,000 other things that you have that you spent way more than $16 on, and you have one bottle? Now, of course, you do have to do a couple different ratios, and I will be making a video on that, so you will have to stay tuned. So you will have to check this video out. But getting back to your home, like your thermostat. Now, my mom had a lot of disabilities, and she would always get hot and then she'd get cold, and then she'd get hot, then she would get cold. And she was constantly turning up the thermostat, turning it down, and turning it up and turning it down. Well, I couldn't figure out why because at the time we had electric baseboards, so she would crank them up and crank them down. And I couldn't figure out why we were spending over $400 a month on heat. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so, I would turn them at a certain point, and I'm like, look, if you're cold, you're going to have to cover up, or you're going to have to get on more clothes. Or if you get hot, start taking some of those clothes off, put your blanket up. So, that's another thing. Set it and forget it. I forget what that's on, but, just set it and forget it. That way you're not touching that. Now, obviously, when we're going to get in below temperatures, you want to crank that up a little bit a few days before all that hits, because you're going to make your furnace work harder. Well, if you just jack it up when it's colder, then it's going to make your furnace work even harder. So, make sure that you're watching the weather, so that way you can kind of predict, okay, well, it's going to be below 20 out today. It's the middle of January. It's going to be hitting us on Thursday, and today's Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and crank that up 2 degrees or 4 degrees, whatever it is that you want to do. So that way your furnace can go ahead and catch up. So that way by the time it's that day, your house is going to be warm to where it is comfortable of how it was last week. Now, when the temperatures go down, I would wait till it's done and then, turn it back down and leave it there. But, there's some people out there that they just set it and that's what they leave it. And if it's cold, well, you're just out of luck. So, it's really up to you how you want to do it. But set that thermostat and leave it alone. That's the biggest thing. When you turn it up and turn it down, that's where you're going to bank the money to them. Now, we wash all of our clothes in cold water because I don't want to use the hot water in my water heater, because that costs me more money when I have to make the water hot. So, making sure that you use cold water. Now, on ours, we don't have a front load, we have a top load washer. And I put it on like a light wash. I put it on the lightest, most less water that I can possibly use. Even though that we have a well out here, okay, well, I don't want to keep using up all my well water. I want to try to conserve my water, because I don't live in the city. I live out in the country. So, I might have supposedly a whole lot of water that just keeps on going and going, but eventually it could run out if we don't get rain. What if we have a summer that has drought? So, making sure that I keep that on that. And then also, we have a clothesline outside to where I don't have to use my dryer as much. In the wintertime, obviously, that's nice because it helps heat your house. Now, you can get your, I can't even think what the heck they're called. Those hoses that you can get that come off the back of your dryer. You can actually get a 5-gallon bucket and put like probably about 3 or 4 inches of water in the 5-gallon bucket. And then you can take that dryer hose and hook it down in that bucket. Now the lint's going to go in the water to where that basically takes care of it, and it's not going to get all clogged up and start, a fire in your home. But you want to take the lid of a 5-gallon bucket and you want to drill some holes in it, and you can actually put that, like it's right off of my husband's office. So, I could actually have that come out, leave the door open, and that's moisture that goes in there and it helps heat your house. So, that is another way that you can do that if you feel comfortable doing that. Now, if you don't, then don't do it. Take the time to do that research on that. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I did see a couple people using that method, and it did help heat their house. And plus that moisture that comes and, that sits in that bucket with that water, it's going to heat up the water, so that way it's going to expand into the air. So, if you feel like that you're comfortable doing that and you have your washer and dryer in a location that you can do that, then that might be something that you try. But definitely check that out and do your research before you do that. Another thing that we did to help with our finances is we have a prepaid phone cards that we do every month. Now, we were paying $55 unlimited. Me and my husband were, or he was doing the 55, which was unlimited, and I was doing the 45, which was, I believe it's unlimited, but the 55 does something else. I don't really remember. But then they just come out with this new card because I had everything set up on auto pay, so I wouldn't ever forget. But they came out with this new thing that if you buy if you buy one card, it's like a double that's in it. So you have your numbers that you scratch off on this side of the card, and then you have your numbers on this side for your other line. So you have 2 lines on one card for $90. So that was going to save us $10. So I was really excited about that. I mean, now I have to go and get a card, but you know what? I'm already going in town to get other things, so I can just make sure that I jot that down on my list and make sure I get that phone card, because to me, it's worth, saving that extra $10 when I'm already going in town. Now, there's a lot of other places out there, like, Cricket has the buy 4 lines for $100 a month. That's a great thing there, but some places don't have Cricket. Some places, a lot of places have Verizon. Verizon's probably the biggest one out there. But, shop around, see what you can do. But the prepaid works best for us, and we like it. We have great coverage where we are, and where we are, there's not a whole lot of coverage. We can't use AT&T out here, but we can use this other one that we have because it's kind of like a side brand of Verizon, I guess I should say, because it's through kind of Verizon, but not really. I don't want to go too detail into that. Just like we don't have cable out here. We have internet, but we don't have cable. So that way we can YouTube is free. So we can watch movies on YouTube. My kids can, if we want to do crafts, we could sit here on YouTube, okay? Free or cheap crafts. The one thing that I would say that is very difficult out here is we have 2 providers that will give us internet. One is just outrageously, ridiculously stupid, so obviously we're not going to go with that one. And this other one we started out with, like 5 gigs, and then we ended up having to bump it up because it just wasn't enough, because our kids they go to school and they have laptops, and they bring those laptops home and they have to work on them, so they have to have Wi-Fi. So we just didn't have enough, so we did have to bump that up. So, to us, we have to do that. If not, okay, well, let's load up. We'll go to McDonald's so you guys can do your homework. Well, then I got to buy them food. So, yeah, okay. So we went ahead and just upgraded, and so now we pay that, and we're very happy with it. Let's see here. I talked about the cleaning products. One great thing for us is that we own our construction business, so we actually know how to fix things. Well, I should say my husband knows how to fix things. So, if there's things that you can do to fix it yourself, then do that. So that way you don't have to call that handyman. YouTube is free, like I just said. Pretty much anything that you can think to do, it's going to be on YouTube. So, do a little bit of research. If you have to change oil, maybe you don't have a jack. Maybe your neighbor has a jack. Maybe the cute boy next door has a jack that you can use. Whatever it is. Or, if you have a friend that can do it, to where you buy it all and you make dinner for you guys or whatever. Figure out which ways that you can do to save money there, or check when you get a Sunday paper, or look up online, Google, I can't even, Jiffy Lube, and see if they have any specials going on. The Sunday paper, it gives you that, and then on Fridays we get another one. I forget what it's called. It's got restaurants, and it's got oil changes and all different kinds of stuff in it. So I saved those because if anything ever happens, hey, I got a coupon. That's another thing. I love coupons. Coupons are great. Coupons are my friends. I just posted a video this morning when I went to Dollar General, and I surprised myself. I went in there with like an $11 budget because it was supposed to be 10, but I bought these razors and I really surprised myself, and I only spent $6.79. So I went better than my budget. So I was really excited about that. So I saved $4 or $5. $4 or $5. I can't talk today. Another thing that we do, where did I put it? Oh, okay. So at the first of the month, I try to set aside anywhere from $50 to $100, just depending on what we have left over. And sometimes we don't go. I'm not saying that I literally go every first of the month to Goodwill because I don't. But we live in Indiana, and the first Saturday of the month, Goodwill has a 50% off everything. They every couple of days, or every day they have a certain color, but the first Saturday of the month, everything. So I don't have to sit there and worry about, okay, well, what color is today? Or, okay, well, it's Senior Citizen Day, so I'm not that old. I'm not going to save it that day. So I know not to ever go on Wednesdays. But have you ever thought of donating your stuff there? If you guys have a yard sale and then you get done and you're like, well, what the heck am I going to do with all this crap? I don't want it. Take it to Goodwill. A lot of people talk bad about Goodwill, but okay, guess what? You can get money back on your taxes. So what I did was, because I was already going there, I have the kids go through their clothes. They have a certain shelf upstairs that they have to put any clothes that don't fit them anymore. And I have a certain section in my room that I set things that I just don't want. Or I put it in my office to where I just basically forget about it until I have to get everything ready to go donate. So what I do is I have a notebook and I have it listed, okay, bag 1. So I get a grocery sack and I put everything in the grocery sack. Now what I put in there, I put down on my paper, like say I have 10 shirts and 2 pairs of pants. Okay, well I put, red t-shirt, blue t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then I put how much I would sell it for. Well, when I do a yard sale, I sell a t-shirt for $0.25, or sell a pair of pants for $1. Because you know what? Number one, it's a yard sale. That's the whole point of a yard sale. So you get stuff for cheap. So what I do, like this past time, and I'll show you what I have here, is on, what is that? 11/2, which was last Sunday. I went and I had 4 bags right here, and it says textiles, but they were clothes, okay? So I had to ask for this. I took my 4 bags back to the donation area, and I had to ask them to give me one of these. You have to ask them to give you one of these. Oh, some of them are not willing to give them to you. But they fill this, they write all this stuff down, and then they have to, sign or initial it, whatever. And then what I do is I take this, and I haven't done it yet, but I take whatever I took with and that I wrote down on my notebook paper, I will staple this to this, and I will put it in my bin for when I file taxes, because this is a donation and I can file it off my taxes. So that's another way for you to save money. It's not going to save you money right then and there, but when you go file your taxes, that's what you can take off your taxes. So, okay, like husband and wife that have no kids and make really good money, well, you're going to pay. Or, an elderly couple that, okay, well, we're living off of our disability. It really doesn't benefit you because some people, disability people don't have to file their taxes. Yeah, donate. It's great. It's a great cause. It goes, I realize that, it's ridiculous that I, sit there and sell my pants for $1, but yeah, I walk in there and I got to pay $5 or $6 for a pair of pants. Well, you know what? That's just how it is. That's why I wait till it's 50% off day. So that way I don't pay that much. But, I don't mind walking in there because I just think it's ridiculous that I walk into a normal store And I got to pay, anywhere from 20 to 60 to some weird people buy $120 pairs of jeans. Well, I'm not going to do that. I have 3 kids. No, they're going to get, Goodwill. My kids love to go to Goodwill. They think it's so much fun. I mean, I have a 16-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old. They all love it because they can all walk in there and I can say, all right, go pick you out 3 shirts and 2 pairs of pants. They can go pick out whatever they want. Then they bring it to me. I check it over, make sure it doesn't have no stains, no cut, or, no crap on it. And I have them go try it on. Everything fits. Hey, guess what? You got what you wanted. And the kids love that. Even I let them pick out toys. Now, I don't let them get the stuffed animals because that's just gross. But, you do what you want to do. You spend your money how you want to. But that's another way for you to save money is to go to Goodwill. It's great. Or Salvation Army. They do the same thing. Now, phone apps. Everybody nowadays pretty much has a phone. And you have 10,000 apps and there's not enough storage on your phone, but hey, you do what you can do. So some of the store apps that I have the Meijer app because I do shop at Meijer a lot. Now, they do have certain coupons that you get on there, like sometimes you get a free carton of eggs, you get a free gallon of milk, you get a free thing of bread. There's all different kinds of free things that you do. They usually do it like once a month, they do a couple free things, or, they'll skip a month and do it. But they always have store coupons on there, so always make sure that you do check those store coupons. Now, when they have their 10 for 10 sale, just make sure when you're ringing those up and they have the 10 for 10, you get the 11th one free. Make sure that if you have a coupon for your 11th item, make sure it's not the 11th item because you already got it for free. They're not going to, give you that coupon off because I've tried that. It doesn't work. Another thing is I do Dollar General. Dollar General has an app. It's a DG in a box that's yellow, and they have digital coupons. Plus, they have where, you buy 8, you get $2 off. Check out my video. I just posted one this morning on that. Let's see here. What else do I have on here? I have Ibotta. Now, Ibotta is when you go to the store, there's certain things that Ibotta will pay you cash back for. So if you don't have that, and then there's like checkout 52, and then there's this fetch thing. I haven't looked at the fetch thing yet. So, there is some savings coupons. Now, the latest thing that I did on a phone app is I got this thing called Field Agent. It's like this orange box with a tie. Now, when I go into town, and this is the only time I do it, I don't make it a point to go in there to do this because it's just not, it makes me a little bit of money, not a whole lot. So if I'm in town, I usually check the app, see what they'll have on there. But the other day I had to go in there and I had to get something from Menards. And so I looked and they had where they needed pictures taken at Lowe's and Kroger. And I thought, okay, well, Lowe's is just right up the street and Kroger's right across the street. So, hey, let's try that out. So what I did is I went in there and it told me what to do. Take your picture this way, take your picture this way. Try to get this in the picture and this and this. It's companies that will pay you to go take pictures because then they don't have to hire a professional photographer to go take it. So guess what? I made $9 by doing that. That's $9 more in my pocket. It took me like 5 minutes in each store to go take these pictures. Damn, got $9. Holla. Okay. So another thing is credit cards. How many of you have credit cards? The best ones to have are obviously the ones that have cash back programs. Other than that, I learned in my my late teens, early 20s that credit cards are my friend. And then in my late 20s, they were not. So therefore, I just don't have them. Now, when you're at the store and you want to buy the name brands, that's all great and wonderful, but the store brands are pretty much taste just the same. Sometimes stores will have their store brand sales, so that way you can get a couple deals on those. Look for recipes before you go. Make a list of what you want to do and see what you can do to make a homemade meal. Now, one thing is have a breakfast night, but no meat, do pancakes and eggs. We've done that before because we have chickens outside. Okay, well, guess what? They give me eggs. Oh, I don't have to go buy eggs. So, that's one thing that we do. All I got to do is make the pancakes. And I put a video on there, so you will have to check that out. Those pancakes are great. They're wonderful. And it takes just a few minutes to whip up. And you probably already have all the ingredients at home. So there's really no need to go out and buy the box of pancake mix. let's see here. A lot of things that I make, we might have leftovers like soups or chilies or stuff like that. I go to the Dollar Tree and I buy the box that has 15 baggies in it, buy that for $1, and I will freeze all of that stuff because, when it gets down to January, February, with us owning construction business, okay, we ain't going to be doing roofs. We're not going to be putting on siding in December and January and February. I mean, that's just whew, cold. So, not a lot of homeowners want to do that. There is a select few that want siding put on their house in the cold of winter, and just so you know, these people are not our friends when you do that because it's just so cold. But, those are our lesser months. So, those I really have to strategize of what we can do, what meals I can make. So, in the fall is what I do. When I'm making my soups and all that stuff, if I've got a bowl left or I have a couple bowls left, I freeze it and put it away. And then when, say the kids are staying at my sister's house. Okay, sorry. I had pumpkin seeds in the oven that we were baking, so I had to get those out. So sorry for the pause. Okay, so speaking of pumpkin seeds, how many of you grow your own food? Now, say you live in an apartment and you just don't have the room. Okay, well, there are some things that you can actually grow in your windowsill. You could get little pots. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get little tiny pots, and you could grow your own herbs. Those are a great thing. If you have the sun that comes right in, herbs are a great thing. You can just pop a couple seeds off, throw them into your chili or throw them into your spaghetti and just add that perfect little spice that you need. Just great. Yeah, sorry, lost my train of thought there. But we didn't grow our pumpkins, but we go to one of our local farmers. I went there every year, and they are great people. They're wonderful. I absolutely love them. I am all about supporting that local farmer because hey, we're farmers now, yay! But supporting your local farmer is something great to do. If you go to the farmer's market, sometimes you might pay a few dollars more, but you're going to get a better product because number one, it doesn't have all that those chemicals and all that crap that you have in the store-bought stuff. So sometimes you can find a really good deal. The one thing that I found a really good deal was my aloe vera plant. I bought it for $3 and I have like 5 starts on it. So I'm really excited because I get to take all those out and make into more plants to go in different rooms, or I can give them away as presents. So I'm really excited for that. Let's see here. Meal prepping, along with freezing stuff, okay, but how many of you actually sit down and prep out what you're going to eat for the 2 weeks or for the month, whatever it is, set a budget, look at your sales that week. Okay, well, I can get all this stuff right here and I'm only going to pay like $20. Okay, well then do that. Find the deals, find the sales, get a paper on your Sunday so that way you can clip coupons and have that. Like this week, Dollar General is having Ragu buy two and you buy two, and that's only $1.50 per each, and you get the spaghetti for free. Okay, well that $3 is going to make 2 meals. So for $3 you have 2 meals, and that's with no meat. So if you wanted to add meat, you can add meat. You could split up 2 pounds of hamburger and just use 1 and not 2 because depending on what you want to do. That's what I do. I buy some stuff I buy in bulk. That's another thing that you can do. Like if I go to the store and they're having a great sale on meat, I will look for the bulk stuff because, okay, they might want $4 to $5 for 2 pounds of hamburger. Okay, but I'm paying $10 for 6 pounds of hamburger. So that is a way better deal. I'm saving money. And then I can divvy that up and I can put it in the freezer and freeze it and then pull it out when I need it. Now, if you guys do decide to eat out, it costs so much money to eat out, especially when you have kids. So if you really want to go out to eat, Google what restaurants can kids eat for free. Look at that. There is like one thing every day that you can go Monday through Friday. Really, there isn't anything on the weekends, but you could check that out and at least go once a week to a different restaurant and your kids could eat free. You might have to buy their drink, but you get their food for free. That saves you money. Another thing with my kids, what I do because they ate me out of the house and home with snacks is I had this thing that would, hold all the snacks and some of my, I don't even know, crafting stuff that I had. Cleaned all that out of the kitchen. And I made their own personal snack bins. So I take them to the store once a week and I'm like, okay, go pick out 2 snacks. Now, sometimes I have coupons, and if I have coupons, then I'll be like, okay, well, who wants this snack? Who wants this snack? You at least have to pick one of these because I have a coupon for it, and this is what you're going to get. Okay, sorry, dog. Um, but, they get a choice, number one. And number two, I get to use a coupon. So, I talked about buying in bulk. Like, I go to an Amish store and I get my sugar and my flour. Like, I just went probably 2 months ago and I'm still using it, but I have a 26-pound bag of flour that I paid $10.97 for. Amazing. Amazing. Do you know if you Google what could you make with flour, there are so many things that you can do. So if you buy in bulk and it's dead of winter, it's January and you got like 10 inches of snow out on the ground and your kids are like barking at you, hey, what are we going to do today? I mean, we can't obviously go outside, so I'm bored. What are we going to do? You don't want their faces glued to the TV or internet or whatever. Okay, well, Google something. Look at what you have. Okay, you have a whole bunch of cornstarch. What crafts can I make with cornstarch? Or what crafts can I make with flour? You can make Play-Doh with flour. My daughter probably could have told me that, but um, do some research, see what you can do because you already have the stuff at home. So what could you do with it to make it fun and interesting for you and your family? And it didn't cost you anything because you're already home and you already have it. Now, if you're going to go out, look at your paper or like the next town over, they have a billboard right in front of the courthouse and it tells us fun things that goes on. Or I look on Facebook and see what people are posting. If there's a parade, well, that's free and you get candy. Hey, 2 for 1. Or, just walking around festivals and stuff like that. There's got to be booths there that do free stuff. You just have to find them. Okay, let's see here. A few other things. I probably need to make this snappy because we're already up to 32 minutes. Okay, so how many of you cut your own hair? Some people this might be very, very scary for. I know my hair doesn't look that great, but I'm trying to let it flow. And I'm not saying I'm letting it grow because every time I say that, I end up just whacking it all off because I can't handle it anymore. And I'm to the point where I cannot handle it, but I'm letting it flow because I want it to grow out. I've had short hair for 15 years, and so I've just kind of let it grow out. The hair on my neck is just absolutely driving me crazy, but I'm dealing with it. So, that's another thing. I cut my husband, and my 3 kids, and I cut my grandmother's hair. That doesn't cost me anything other than the scissors and the hair clippers that I had to buy. So pretty much of what I would go pay for me and my husband to have our hair cut, that's what I bought the supplies with. And that was, one-time deal that I can use for a while if I keep them in good standards. Herbal remedies. If you guys get sick a lot, Google things that you can do with herbal remedies. Just like, the single person living in an apartment, okay? Grow some herbs because those herbs can turn into something that you can use for an herbal treatment. And just like your chamomile tea, you could have chamomile tea and then you can save it and use it for, if you get really stressed out, throw them in your bath and take a bath with them. Just let those soak in there and depress you and, take your time. You can even, put them on your face and just relax to where you're not having to go out and buy, all the medicines and, research what could you do with honey. Honey and ginger are 2 of the greatest things that you could do to keep healthy in the winter time. Also taking your vitamins. A lot of times, Meijer has buy one get one free, and then I have a coupon for $5 off, so I am paying $5 for 2 vitamins. Now, whether it's kids or whether it's for us adults, I always wait till the sales are coming on so that way I can get those vitamins. You know, the kids are getting ready to go to the bus. I'm like, okay, did you brush your hair? Did you brush your teeth? You got your clothes on? You got your shoes on? You got your backpack? Did you take your vitamin? You know, those are all questions that I have to ask every single morning. And you think by now that they would know to do all that, but they don't. So I always have to tell them what to do. So, you know, those are a few things that you can do with herbal remedies. You know, take the time to do a little bit of research. I mean, you're just sitting at home anyway. What else are you going to do? Um, Now last year, I had just went into a store because winter was over, everything was clearanced, and so I bought like 3 or 4 hats for 50 cents. I was so excited about that. And here we are, just what, a week and a half into November, and my son's already lost 2 of them. I'm like, I just paid 50 cents for that hat, man. And you've lost 2. Now I have to go buy a $6 hat. So, you know, use
You do them all, babe, or are they done?
Ah, people. See, that's why I wait till everybody's gone before I videotape. That's okay. So, anywho, um, yes. What was I? Oh, after a season ends or after a holiday end is the best time to go shopping. So if you can catch those deals, that's great. Now, if you have a coupon, you can even save even more. But a lot of times it's very rare that you find a coupon because they will always end right when the season ends, so you can't use them. But on a very seldom thing, you can actually use them for that. How about your car? There's a lot of things that you can do to benefit on your car, like car insurance. You know, we shopped around for a little bit to find the best car insurance that we could get. We ended up switching 2 years ago to a better one because we saved like $70 because we have a lot of vehicles because we own a construction business. My daughter just bought her first car. And so we had to figure out something to where we could keep it at least under $200 for all of our cars, which we did, and it's way under $200. So I was really stoked and excited about that. So check around for your insurance. You know, make sure you know what is on your insurance. Um, Changing things yourself, like changing your oil, changing your air filters, checking your tire pressures. You know, if you're not rich like me and your little sensor doesn't go off to tell you that your tire pressure is low, then you got to go out and check it yourself. So, you know, check that because all those things can take more gas, which causes you more money. Just like sweeping your car out and washing your car. Do it yourself. Don't go there. I make my kids do it. You know, it gives them something to do. So, you know, try to get all your shopping done in one day. Now, every once in a while, there's a great deal out there, so you got to get going. But try to do all your shopping so that way you can spend a little bit more time at home with your family and less time at the store. Now, with prescriptions, you know, that kind of goes with your herbal remedies. Now, if you have to have those medicines, can you get the side brand? Do you have to have the name brand? Or could you get the side brand or the store brand, whatever you want to call it? Um, you know, and there's people out there that don't have health insurance, so that way that they could get the discount on top of, you know, their health insurance. Well, there's these health plans and these dental plans out there. You need to check those out if you don't have health insurance. You know, we looked into those for certain health coverage because with us owning our own construction business, it is so expensive to get all that stuff. And so we looked into a few things, and basically, you can pay like around $200 one time a year. And when you go to the doctor, say you have to go get a tooth pulled, well, that costs anywhere from $180 to $250. Well, what if you could get that bill cut in half because you bought the savings plan? That's a great deal. And so that way you're not spending all that money that if you don't have insurance, because then you're going to have to figure out, well, where do I have like $250 at because that I'm supposed to just pull it out somewhere because it's not there. So check around. Those are great things. And the last thing that I am going to talk about is some reward programs. Like, you know, Menards does the rebate program to where, you know, you send those rebates in and then you get those back. So in a couple months. Or a refer a friend program. So if you have internet or you have a cable company? Do you have the refer a friend program? Do you refer people to that so that way you can make money and also they can make money? You know, if you kind of overhear people talking about, well, we just got our first apartment and we just don't know where to go. Hey, perfect time to be their friend and come on over there and be like, well, I have a refer a friend to where you can make $50 and I can make $50. All you have to do is call these people, tell them who I am, and you can make $50 or 25 or 5, whatever it is, you know, it's up to you. So, you know, check those out. You know, do you guys have a gym membership? You know, are you actually going to the place that you go to the gym? You know, half the people that have a gym membership don't hardly ever go. Well, then what do you have a gym membership for? I mean, I got 18 acres. I can go out and chop wood. I can sit here and lift milk jugs all day long if I want to. But, you know, I'm not going to go to the gym. So for all you gym people out there, is it really worth it? Do you really need to do that? Now, if it's great for you, you know, if you go to Anytime Fitness, they charge $10 a month. I don't think that's bad. But Anytime Fitness is like 20 some miles way far away from me. Well, I don't want to spend the gas money. I might as well just go down the street and pay the same amount for the month because that's what it's going to cost me in gas to drive there because I have a 4x4 vehicle. So, anywho, just going over making sure I'm covering like everything that I possibly can. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is taxes. Everybody hates taxes. They don't want to talk about taxes. They don't even want to file their taxes because half the people have to pay, you know, the IRS or the state money. And to me, that's just stupid. But anywho, some of the things that you can do, say you buy new windows, new doors for your house, you put insulation in your house, you buy those energy efficient items, washer dryers, TVs. If it says energy efficient on the box, keep that, okay? Now, you're only allotted like between, I think it's like $600 to $800. I forget what it is because I did it a few years ago. You're only allowed to do it about every 3 to 5 years, but you can actually get a credit back if you had those energy efficient things. Make sure you keep your receipt so that way you can show that it was. Sometimes I even take a picture of the box and the UPC so that way I can match it up with the receipt if it's a big difference, only because it's just security for me and I'm kind of OCD. Another thing is if you do have daycare, that you can file off on your taxes because let's face it, you pay a lot of money for people to watch your kids, especially infants, and it ain't cheap. So, you know, I talked about donations already. You know, another thing is when you are renewing your plates and you get your little registration in the mail, there's a dollar amount on there. You can actually file that on your taxes as a credit. So make sure that you take your registrations with every vehicle that you have, take that in there to your tax professional so that way they can take that off of your taxes. Another thing is doctor bills and prescriptions. Now you have to get a lot of them. I think it's between like 2,000 and 2,500. I forget what it is. You'd have to ask your tax professional because it might change from year to year. But if you spend a lot of money on doctor bills and prescriptions, keep all those receipts. Take them in there because sometimes you can get a tax rebate on those. So those are just a few things that I have. And I can't stress enough of every way that you can possibly save money. So I hope some of these have helped you out, these little tips that I have. I mean, I've got everything wrote on my little book because I didn't want to forget anything because there's always that person that is trying to save money, whether you're trying to save money for your kids' college, you're trying to save money because next year you want to take your kids to Disney World or you want to take them to some other resort place, or you're planning a wedding, you're planning to have a baby, or you want to have a retirement because I'm sorry, but when I get old, do you think Social Security is still going to be here? No, because the 80-year-olds right now are taking it all. So, you know, I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful to anybody, but why should I have to pay into that and then I don't ever get it? So, you know, these are just my personal opinions. People can hate me if they want to, but I want to keep my money. You know, that's one reason why I want to do a homestead. Now, if you are in the position that you can do a homestead, you can, because guess what? I am my own boss. Just like, you know, we do own a construction company, but here soon, you know, my husband's going to be old. He's not going to be able to jump on some roof like, you know, his teen nephews that he has right now. They're going to be doing it. And we're going to be sitting at home in our rocking chairs. You I don't want to work for anybody. I do help out at the school, so, I do have to do that. But, I enjoy doing that because number one, I get to be around my kids. And number two, I can't farm every day if it rains, if it snows, and it just gives me something to do. But I hope that you've enjoyed this video. There's tons of ways out there to save money. So do the research, see what you can eliminate. What all do you guys have plugged in your outlets? Do they have to be plugged in? Can you turn them off? Just like microwaves, just like coffee pots, unplug that stuff. Even though it's not on, it's still charging you because it's still plugged in. Look at everything around your house. What could I do to improve myself so I'm not spending so much money? And since we've lived here in March, I have probably saved at least $40 a month just by figuring out things that I can do that will save me money. Whether it's couponing, whether it's, okay, I have all this on a power strip. I can turn that power strip off and it's not being used at all. Or I've been like this whole year, I did 2 giant gardens. Well, guess what? I have over 60 quarts of food down in my basement that I can eat because I took the time out of spending maybe $20 or not even $20. I think I spent like $15 on seeds. $15 on seeds. Now it did cost me a little, it took time to grow it. But I enjoyed that time because I got to plant it, I got to grow it, and I got to see how it came out, and I got to eat it. I got to do all that myself. So there's so many amazing deals out there, whether it's couponing or stuff that you can do at home or herbal things that you can do yourself. I mean, you should be proud if you can do something yourself. I am so proud of myself. So I'm going to get off here. I'm up to 46 minutes. And I was hoping to do a short video, but you can't sit here and talk about 60 things. I think it was 60 things I counted in just a couple of minutes. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If it inspires you to save money. If you have any other tips, I would love to hear them, and I'm sure everybody else watching this video would love to hear them also. So if you have tried any of these tips, or maybe you have an herbal recipe that doesn't take very much, or something that you do that's totally different, or stuff that you have tried on this, comment below, because I love to see comments. I love to hear feedback. Even if it's bad, I'll just have to suck up and deal with it. So, but I would rather hear the good comments, which as anybody would. So I hope that you all have a blessed day, and I thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see ya.